Hey guys, thanks for coming and watching another video from the Zen Garden Oasis. Today I'm making a self-wicking bucket to water some winter vegetables or fall vegetables. And so it's very simple to build. All you need is a 5-gallon bucket, a gallon container, some PVC, and it's super easy. So we'll start by talking about what to do with this bucket and how to find just the right piece of PVC for it. So the great thing about this bucket is the PVC is a very tight fit in there. Can't even get it below that point. So if you're lucky and you can find a bucket that fits just the right size, you can save yourself a lot of headache from having to cut the top, and you won't have a perfect seal, and soil will get down into your gallon container. So I would recommend you try to find a bucket based upon your PVC. What you can do is just measure this exactly and then go and find yourself a gallon container where you can have a really tight fit and you don't have to worry about cutting this top. So this is the label's been removed. Basically, it's just a water container that's sold at most grocery stores, and I think that will save you a step along the way. If you can't, you can always cut the PVC to fit just right and maybe put some aluminum tape or metallic tape around the top so you can keep soil from getting into your gallon container, because you're going to be putting in some really small holes around the sides, and so you just want to try to keep soil out of this container. If you had a lot in there, it might fill up and just stop up some of the drain holes. So that's one step that can save you a lot of headaches if you find the right piece of PVC for the right jug top. So I would highly recommend you make sure those two match first, because that's a critical step. The next thing I have to do is make a lot of very small holes in the gallon container. So what I would say is you can use a drill, you can use a screwdriver, but the easiest thing for me is to use one of these black cube soldering pins. And so it's really cheap. This thing was less than 10 bucks on Amazon. At the time of the filming, it was being sold. So it's black cube soldering pin. It's wireless, and it's got a little safety feature. You have to hold it till the light comes on. Give it a second to heat up. Takes a few seconds there. And you can easily make your holes in your container. And so we're just going to give it another second. Yep, it's very hot. So you can just put the holes in there. Not quite hot enough yet. Hot enough for my finger though. And it really goes through easy. Once it heats up to the right temperature, I would just recommend 8 to 10 holes on each side. I think 8 is going to be the right number. So you got 8 there. We're going to flip it to the next side. Put 8 in on this side. And this is a heck of a lot easier. These little pins are so handy. So if you're doing other projects, you can use them for that. I think the drill is okay, but for me, this is a lot easier to use a soldering pin. So we'll do the next side. Not to put too much around the handle. I don't want to too many there. And it's just super fast. And I'm also leaving a little bit of space at the bottom for a reservoir of water down there at the base. So it has a little bit of extra water. And it's even possible that you might have some roots. If the roots go deep enough, they could actually grow into the pot. And that could help, because it would keep the plant very healthy. So there we are. We've got our holes punched all the way around, and we're ready to go to the next step. Like I say, this little pin is so handy. It works great. Okay, the next thing I've got to do is I want to get the pipe just the right length. And so I'm going to put it in there, assuming that the soil is going to be within an inch of the top. We just want it slightly above that. I'm going to mark it, and then I'll cut it. And a PVC cutter is the easiest way for me. But if you don't have one of these, you can use a hacksaw, reciprocating saw, or you can use a circular saw. But this for me is just the easiest way. Super easy to cut. And now we are ready to go to the next step. And so your plants are going to be here and here. They're going to get larger, but you should be able to water with no problem. Sometimes using a funnel may be helpful, just a food grade funnel you can put in there. Make sure it's not got any toxic substances or you've used before. But I've got a lot of funnels from beer making, And so this will work. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is drill our drainage holes on each side of the bucket, about 5 to 6 inches from the base. So make sure we got that the right way. Okay. We want it completely on the opposite side, which is going to be about here. Same, about 5 to 6 inches from the base of the bucket. Okay. And so that's the next step. Make sure we have drainage, but of course we'll still have some water and moist soil at the bottom, but the plant itself will wick that up. So we're going to put this in there now. And the next step will be adding our soil. Okay, so I'm going to fill the bucket 50% with soil, and then I'm going to top it with my Osmocote slow release fertilizer. I really like this. It's a balanced fertilizer, and it will slowly release into the soil and help the plant, but we're going to actually put it midway and at the top. We're going to add our soil by 50%. Make sure it goes all the way around the gallon container. And we're about the 50% level. The bucket is, the gallon container is now secured. And we're going to put a good dose of the slow release fertilizer. And this will be right at the base of the plant's roots. So we're just going to put that around. And now we're going to fill the container the rest of the way. Okay. And so I didn't fill it all the way to the top because I'm going to have to dig out where the new plant's going to go. So that'll bring the soil level up to maybe within an inch of the top. But that is that. I'm going to add some more slow release fertilizer just around the top. When we add the plant, that'll be mixed in with it. And we'll be ready to have a self-watering, self-wicking bucket. Okay, so in this particular bucket, we are going to do a strawberry plant. I'm going to move this off to one side so we can get plenty of room for the roots. And this will do a lot better than it would if it was just in open ground. I'm just trying to make a planting hole that will work for it. Just going to put the soil up around it. You can still see the watering PVC. So we're going to take this outside, water it thoroughly, and make sure it's ready to go. We're a couple months away from our frost, so maybe we can get some additional strawberries from this plant. So I'm going to remove any hot water that might have built up over the day inside of the pipe and make sure we're only putting cool water on it. Okay, and we're just going to put a light shower on the top. And we're going to put a jet or full spray right into the watering hole. And I mentioned these before, these Orbit sprayers are great because you can very gently put just the right amount of water in there. Okay, if you look to the side, I'm hoping you can see this, but if you look to the side, you'll see water starting to come out of our 1/4-inch bit hole. And so it's ready to go. I'm going to do one last thing and we'll be ready to set it on the patio. Okay, this is soil conditioner. It's very finely ground pine bark. So I like to put about a 1/2-inch layer on top of that to prevent any dehydration if I forget to water. So I'm just going to carefully put that all around the top. It's one of the reasons I didn't fill the container all the way up. There we go. We've got a good layer to help retain moisture, and the pine bark will slowly dissolve and put extra nutrients into the soil. So I'm going to give it another light spray. And there you have it, a self-wicking or self-watering container. So the great thing about these buckets is you can transport them anywhere you need to, around your property, patio, and if the plant's not performing as you would want it to, you can just put it in another location and see how it works there. So a couple more things I forgot to mention. I'll give you a close-up shot of it. So the last thing I wanted to say is about mosquito control, because mosquitoes can fly down into your PVC, lay eggs in there, and you'll have mosquitoes hatching out. So what you want to do is either take a small container, cup, or whichever, and just block that off so the mosquitoes can't get in there. And so whenever you need to water, you can just take it off real quick. Also, you can use a larger cup, and the reason I chose red is kind of an unusual thing. Plants have been proven to grow better with red light around them, so as the light hits this, it might actually help the plant, the strawberry, grow better. So it's kind of a little experiment I'm doing with this red cup. I just happen to have some in the pantry, and I'm going to try that and see what happens. So it's a possibility, but it's just an interesting little thing to try new things from time to time in the garden. Hey guys, I just want to say thanks for watching the video, and I really appreciate it. Every time I see a new subscriber, it makes me really feel like someone wants to hear what I have to say. So that's a nice bonus to having this channel, but it also helps me spread the thing that I enjoy most, which is Zen Gardens, and I'll be doing more videos about that in the near future. And if you have any suggestions or ideas, let me know. I'll be glad to try new things. Also, if you would, please subscribe and like. That really helps the channel. Everybody asks for that. So when you do it, it really, really means a lot to me. Have a great day. Mantade. See you later.